Alright, folks, today I really want to show you how to, weave around this guy's dialogue tree. So, here's Zen Shapiro, to basically model out his dialogue tree for us, and I'm actually gonna get to the bottom of this. So, to start off, actually, his whole contention with the pro-choice movement is that, okay, he'll ask this question specifically first. It's that, do you believe life, or actually no, it's, as we'll see, it's, are you aware that life starts at conception? Sorry, usually I'm a fast typer, but typing while talking, that really kind of throws me off. So we'll say, are you aware that life starts at conception? Now, there's a huge difference between, do you believe life starts at conception? Then you can debate the ontology of a zygote from there. And there's also, are you aware that life starts at conception? So from the get-go, he's already framing the entire debate in his favor. So you could say, when pressed with this, you could say, I guess one of two things generally. It's that, so you could say, no, and, take a more pro-choicey angle and say, okay, well, since his definition of life includes, the purely biological, the 7 criteria for life, that being grows and adapts, changes over time. So this could, and another crucial part of his definition is that life starts at conception because that's when new DNA is created upon the sperm fertilizing the egg. And to counter this, you could say, okay, well, if new DNA is what creates life, tumors could be considered life because they have new DNA. And you could add on to this molar pregnancies, not ectopic pregnancies, unless they're benign, but molar benign pregnancies, because he thinks if it's not a threat to the life of the mother, then, it shouldn't be considered relevant. And so here, if you were to agree that life, in the actual philosophical human sense, in the sense of, okay, throughout the course of events, we're going through things, we're developing as people, he basically lumps those two definitions in together. And obviously, in different contexts, there are different definitions for things. Even life, Oxford defines as, two separate things. So, a life definition, fuck, it is so hard to talk while typing, that is weird. Yeah, so life. The condition that distinguishes animals and plants from inorganic matter, including the capacity for growth, reproduction, functional activity, and continual change preceding death. So, by that logic, okay, well, cells in and of themselves are life. So, he'll have to move the goalpost to different DNA. Okay, well, tumors are different DNA. Like, what allelic frequency do you think causes them to alter rapidly and change? But he isn't about that, okay? So, if you actually end up conceding that life starts at conception, that's already the argument, won in his favor, because he can make you look absurd and tug at the heartstrings by saying, well, are you aware that your worldview ontologically justifies killing innocent babies, and a bunch of fucking Darth Dawkins philosopher nerd shit speak later? He'll eventually force your hand into saying, okay, well, you are indeed pro-murder. Obviously, there are different definitions of life, but you can't end up conceding that life starts at conception, okay? And that's what he's gonna do in this video, right here. So let's play it for you. Here's Zen to fucking be a dumbass and, debate people who aren't seasoned leftists. Yeah, just Overwatch gamers. Ooh, you're so accomplished rhetorically. Let's play it.
get an abortion, but like I don't feel like people should be getting like 5
Let's speed it
abortions
up.
a month. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, I don't even. But so
I don't know either. I'm just saying like motherfuckers that are.
What do you say?
so
I don't know either. I'm just saying like motherfuckers that are. If you're a regular.
I don't even know how that would.
And, like,
Well, I don't even know how that would work. But so
I don't know either. I'm just saying like motherfuckers that are. If you're a regular at like. I don't know either. I'm just saying like motherfuckers that are. If you're a regular at like an abortion clinic, like you gotta kind of.
okay. So what is the problem with being a regular versus like just a one-off occurrence? Like what is the difference?
I don't know either. I'm just saying like motherfuckers that are 5 abortions a month. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Well, I don't even know how that would work.
It's called
but,
hyperbole,
so-
Zen.
I don't know either. I'm just saying like motherfuckers that are. If you're a regular at like an abortion clinic, like you gotta kind of.
Okay, so what is the problem with being a regular versus like just a one-off occurrence? Like what is the difference?
Get an abortion, but like I don't feel like people should be getting like.
So
I don't know either. I'm just saying.
what is the problem with being a
I don't know. I have to really think about that. I've never been asked that question.
Yeah, I can tell that you've never thought about this. Like the only reason you would
Yeah,
ever say
because he's a fucking gamer and not a seasoned leftist like me. Like, he probably just hopped into this, you know, wanting to find a team or something, but eventually Zen asked him, okay, what ontologically justifies your worldview for you to be pro-choice? Or, you know, some, like, nerd shit like that. So, the concession will come up pretty soon.
say what you just said. You've never been challenged on it. So how about this? What is your
Yeah,
fundamental,
he's never been challenged on it. That's why he's not refined.
what is your
This is,
fundamental
like, so predatory.
argument for your pro-choice position? What is your best argument?
I wouldn't really like. I don't know. If, I guess it is kind of an argument. So you could argue against it, but like, if you're like really young and you're like you fucked up, right? Like being fucking stupid, not being safe. You know what I'm saying? And like, girl gets pregnant, and like, I could see why somebody would get an abortion. I'm not saying that I would want
Totally reasonable.
significant other to get an abortion. I'm just saying like I could see why some people would. Can you justify it?
So
Yeah, and obviously, like, Zen's goons are, like, I'm pretty sure this kid, whatever his name is, this kid's balls haven't even dropped yet. You know, he's just a fucking squeaker.
It all depends on like your moral values, I guess. Like,
yeah, so do you acknowledge that? Do you
It's like the kids I fucking played on fucking Xbox Live back in the day.
acknowledge that an abortion is killing a human being?
yes.
Okay, so yeah, how do you justify killing an innocent human being?
Yeah, oh, fuck! This is so slimy. Ontologically slimy. Do it in Zen's voice. So, he's already steering the narrative in his favor. By you conceding that quote-unquote life starts at conception, this is so dishonest. He's framing you as already like a murderer, and from there he can tug at the heartstrings. Well, okay, obviously, if different DNA is the benchmark for what you consider life, then aren't tumors that? Are mold or pregnancies that? And sometimes he's bitten the bullet on that, from which you can ad absurdum the shit out of his argument, like say, okay, well, if this legally has the right to personhood, then why not count on the census? Why not entitle it to social security, tax breaks, a driver's license, census designation, you know, all that shit, birthright citizenship, all that shit that comes with legal personhood. But, you know, obviously we're not going to provide that for tumors because of the fucking ridiculous premise and the national debt we'd incur from treating tumors as actual citizens. I'll map out that tree.
I feel like
Yeah, he has to take a while to think about this because he hasn't, like, taken so long, or as long as we have, to fucking explicate our positions on this, okay?
personally,
He doesn't debate seasoned leftists. He debates absolute fucking randos in, like, game lobbies. Are you kidding? Maybe Discord is more respectable because the people there are really opinionated and constantly talk politics. But fucking Overwatch? Come on, man.
this is how I feel. I feel like I'm trying to figure out how to say this to where I don't sound like a retard.
No, only Zen, you know, operates from feeling.
Choice position. I don't think that like anything past like the first few weeks is really
Where do you draw the line?
like probably like start of the second term is where I would say is like the
So 12 weeks?
So start of the second. Yeah, okay, the math there is good. So, I have a source saying 24 weeks is the first onset of the prefrontal cortex's consciousness. That's when it says. Now, you're going to be tasked with navigating around an additional dialogue tree if you end up debating one of Zen or his goons. So, if you say, life starts at consciousness, you're going to be brought to Zen's question, okay, well, if you morally value consciousness, then one of two things. Either, okay, if you morally value the capacity for consciousness, you're gonna be faced with a couple arguments I've heard from my tenure debating, and they're these. So, okay, can you kill people who are sleeping because technically they're unconscious, you know? So it'll eventually come to this. Zen hasn't pulled out the argument on the left because, you know, his debate tactics are abso-fucking-lutely absurd and, like, deranged and, you know, sort of projecty. But they're really easy refutations to both of these. And the one on the left is that, no, we're talking the capacity for consciousness. The capacity for consciousness, which is conferred at, I believe, 24 weeks. My number might be off the top of my head, but it's fine, whatever. And no, because you're perpetuating symptoms of some sort of mental disease, it's probably a sign of schizophrenia or, you know, some sort of other psychotic disorder, as some of the empirical literature demonstrates. Synth brought this one up, so I'll link that in the description. I'll link the paper.
Not even, honestly, like, maybe, like probably, like, 7.
Okay, why 7?
I don't know, it's, like, pretty early, and it's not, like, when you're at the point where you can, like, do an ultrasound and you can see literally, like, a human inside of somebody else, like, that's when I feel like it's fucked up.
Okay, so, it's only wrong to kill a human if you can see it via ultrasound? Is that your position?
I'd mark it a consciousness, which is 24 weeks, but I want to see them go through with this.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, how do you actually... This is a ridiculous argument. You understand that?
I don't know, I think it's get an abortion, but, like, I don't feel like people should be getting, like,
Oh,
5
shit.
abortions a month.
Sorry.
I feel like...
See, now you're adding new stipulations. So
it'd be up to somebody else.
Yeah, so if I wanted to...
You and your significant other.
Yeah, so if me and my significant other wanted to... I'm okay with killing a human being, I can do it?
I guess.
Okay, so
I feel
if
like it shouldn't really be up to somebody else.
You could have an abortion, because you can't see it on an ultrasound.
I don't know.
Kill it. Another scenario presented would be developed enough. It could be smaller than, you know, you...
It's like they should.
Precisely.
Because like around...
issue.
Where would you draw the line? Where would you cut it off at?
I don't know, it's like they should.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is clearly a feelings-based argument. So, like, how do you actually... This is a ridiculous argument. You understand that?
I don't know, I think it's kind of... I don't know, just how I feel.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is clearly a feelings-based argument. Like, how do you actually argue, like, where...
Hold on, let me put myself above Zen. Oh, fuck. I realized in OBS, I've had myself over him. Well, like, ontologically, I am just over him. Anybody is. But, yeah, let me just see him.
Draw the line. Where would you cut it off at?
This fucking idiot.
I don't know, it's like they should.
Precisely.
Because, like...
Christ, how young is this fucking kid? Oh my god, I feel like he just got conceived and he's trying to save his own ass by debating pro-choicers. Jesus fucking Christ.
Because, like, around 7 weeks, like, there are times where it could be...
That's the issue!
It could actually not be developed enough. It could be smaller than, you know, it usually is, and maybe it can't even be detected by an ultrasound. Like, at that point, would it be okay to kill it? Another scenario presented with, what if you don't have...
That's not true in the fucking
access to an
slightest.
ultrasound, but you do know that you're pregnant? Would it be okay to have an abortion? Because you can't see it on an ultrasound.
I don't know, get an ultrasound by his fucking worldview.
I don't know. Like, it really just depends on if you feel like if you're okay with it. Like,
Okay, so as long as I'm okay with killing a human being, I can do it?
I guess.
Okay, so if I...
Yeah, again, like, deceptively framing the narrative in his favor. Okay, well, that's ontologically killing a human being.
It shouldn't really be.
Okay, like, so if you legitimately think any new fucking semblance of DNA is a human, if I cut out a tumor, am I killing an innocent human? No, that's absolutely absurd. And we saw this in Synth's debate with Zen, where he actually bit the bullet on that one and just instantly lost.
Yeah. So if I wanted
When
to,
your significant other.
yeah. So if me and my significant other wanted to kill you, would you object to that?
If I was your child and I wasn't really
You wouldn't even be cognizant of what killing is, or cognizant of anything,
conscious.
if you're that, like, early in the womb.
We have like a whole thought process going on.
Well, hang on. See, now you're adding new stipulations. So it's not simply that anybody can do it to whoever they want. It has to be their own.
Pro-lifers add additional fucking stipulations all the time. Like, I go down Zen's dialogue tree with them. Okay, well, life starts at conception with new DNA. Okay, well, our tumor's new DNA. Well, that doesn't have the potential. Okay, if the potentiality for life is what the benchmark for life is, do sperm cells count as life? Well, not really, but I think when it comes to zygotes, there's a higher metaphysical... Okay, buddy, just fuck off at that point.
Child, and they have to be unconscious.
Like, again, the additional stipulations.
So as long as a human being is unconscious, their parents can kill them. Correct?
Yeah, again, I showed the argument for that in Photoshop there. It's not... Do not morally value consciousness in and of itself. Value the capacity for consciousness. And in general, that physiologically confirmed capacity for the human experience.
That's not exactly what I'm saying.
Okay. What is your position?
Stake out your worldview. This fucking guy.
Damn, this is a really hard topic.
Yeah, it's very difficult to defend the killing of innocent human beings. I will give you that.
Yeah, it's very difficult to defend the killing of fucking tumors, okay?
Like, you're not the first one to struggle with this.
Yeah. I guess my problem is I don't really care what other people do. Like, if you want to go out and get an abortion, I don't really give a fuck. It doesn't really affect me personally. But, like,
Would you object to somebody would you object to men raping women?
yes.
Why?
What do you mean why? It's fucked up. Like a
Yeah, you can care what people do even though it doesn't affect you, Zen. Like how you care constantly about who's having sex with who, yeah?
pretty fucked up thing. Like, you know,
Why is it fucked up?
It's dramatic. I don't know. I couldn't really tell you.
Let me see if I can help you.
It's technically not.
Let me see if I can help you. Rape is fucked up because it is the act of a human imposing themselves upon another human.
Isn't there rape in the Old Testament, Zen, which the New Testament reifies? Yeah, there's that for your fucking Christian
Causing
worldview.
harm without their consent. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
That,
So let's compare it to abortion. Abortion is a human imposing themselves upon another human, causing them harm, killing them without their consent. Wouldn't you agree that that's also wrong?
that's true. That is true.
So being that you object to rape on those grounds, you would have to object to abortion on those grounds as well. Or you would have to object to neither.
I don't know. I feel like it's not as
Again, necrophilia is the act of mentally harming yourself because you are reinforcing symptoms of what is typically schizophrenia. This is empirically demonstrated in the literature, linked in the description. I may post like a footnote video specifically laying out the quote in that paper, but or just, you know, post the clip from the synth
absolutely
debate
there's that. I don't know.
Well, it doesn't matter.
on the Crucible ran by a fucking pussy who will never debate me because he knows he'd get destroyed by me. And I'm not talking just Zen.
What you feel like, it's a matter of what it is.
BPF.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah. The thing
So,
is, like,
so,
I just
so here's the
don't
question:
care what
Do you object to both? Do you object to neither?
Seasoned leftist debaters like me do not make their stipulations in feelings. They argue based in utilitarian empirical reality. But Zen doesn't want to face that because, you know, he's such a coward.
Or are you inconsistent?
I don't know. I think I'm definitely inconsistent. Like,
Hey, credit where credit's due. Zen is consistent, but he's fucking absurd. His worldview is, so.
honestly.
Okay. So do you want to just try a new argument, a new line of argumentation?
No, honestly.
Okay.
It's like,
So do you concede?
like, what do you mean?
Like, do you concede the position? Do you concede the argument?
Okay, again, recherche niche-based terminology. They're not gonna know what concede means, typically, because these are just like gamers, normal people, looking for teams. They're not like Discord, fucking Darth Dawkin school like you, Zen.
Huh?
I don't know.
Give up.
Like,
yeah,
am I-
I-
White flag. Forfeit.
I know. I get it. Like,
Yeah, they're saying that. Forfeit. Well, in there, they're like, forfeit. Come on, you've already lost. That really goes to show their insecurity. Like, okay, Mr. Zygo, we know you haven't even been named yet, let alone fucking detected by an ultrasound, but relax. Most babies like you don't get aborted, okay?
Well, I mean, it's either you concede or you have to keep defending the position. But
Like, we can make a laughing stock of you. That's why we're showing you on this video. That's why I'm mining you for content, man.
what is it?
I feel like
And that's why Zen blocked
you
me.
can't. Like, I see how you could compare those, but I don't really think they're
FF,
similar
bro.
situations.
I just explained how they're comparable. Rape is the act. So let's just walk it through. I'll show you
No,
the one.
I see. No, I see how they're definitely like how you could compare them, but
Okay.
I also feel like they're not really like the same.
Well, it's just like it's an analogy. It's a one-to-one analogy. I mean, I could even make it like even more comparable. Let's say like a man is in a back alley getting stabbed.
Like, okay, the person who's being raped is cognizant and, you know, has the capacity for pain and a detrimental human experience, you know. I'm not sure as to what I'd say in that situation. I don't even think we'd be led down that line of dialogue, but
Stabbed
okay.
to death. And you're walking by, and somebody's stabbing him. It's a grown man. He's getting stabbed to death. Wouldn't you stop the person from stabbing them?
Fucking
Or wouldn't you call
speed
the
this
cops?
up because
Would
I
you object
can't
to that,
take
right?
like more of this
Yes.
And let's
fucking
like,
Zen Shapiro cancer.
That is like on drugs or asleep or something. It's completely sedated. They're not even crying out for help. They're just getting stabbed to death constantly. And you see it, you say, oh, hey, this is an innocent human. Like from what we can confirm, this is an innocent human being killed without their consent by somebody else. Right? Again, same thing as abortion. This is an innocent
Because
human
they
being
are
killed without consent by
physically
somebody
and
else.
emotionally
thing.
cognizant
You
of
object
that pain,
Not
okay?
the other. Why?
Getting abortion.
They are currently experiencing that negative experience.
I feel like people should be getting like 5 abortions a month. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, I
that's
don't even know how that would work.
what-
So let's compare it to abortion. Abortion, you're bad faith. You're like, I like hearing other people talk about it, but then I just hold the same position. Right? Again, same thing as abortion. This is an innocent human being killed without their consent by somebody else. Same thing. You would object to one, but not the other. Why?
They are cognizant of that pain, that's why.
I don't think so. Like,
Again, like, I can toss out the objections fucking instantly, and this is why Zen never debates seasoned leftists like me. He always goes on fucking Overwatch, or fucking Discord, or like brings in somebody from the Crucible server, you know, like, total pussy, man.
sorry, let me restart. I don't think I'm like for or against abortion. Honestly, I just like hearing other people's viewpoints about it, and like.
And then not formulating your own, just remaining
I'm not
pro-choice.
really, like-
Yeah, it's a bad. You're bad faith. You're like, I like hearing other people talk about it, but then I just hold the same position that I do, and I don't take anything from it. Unless you can prove it.
This guy hasn't elucidated his view for a fucking day. And you expect him to, like, go against a guy who's absolutely got the fucking talking points mapped out from the moment he decided to debate abortion? Come on. Like, debate a leftist, okay? Like you did with Sense, and we saw how that one went. Translation, you got fucking destroyed.
You're wrong. Do you just hang on? Do you just not hold a stance on murder? Do you have an affirmative stance in one direction or another on murder? Like, do you support it or oppose it, or are you just neutral on murder?
In self-defense, generally. If our prosecution system and our justice system were more accurate in weeding out criminals, I think I'd be further inclined to support the death penalty, but, you know, like, it's just awfully handled, as is everything with Republican counties and states and nations.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you actively opposed to murder so much that you think it should be illegal?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the criteria for murder. Just correct me if I'm wrong here. Murder is
I feel
simply.
like I know you're.
Like, notice how his mouth is orbiting the mic. This is what, like, dogs do. Murder. Like, you were supposed to be a parody of Ben Shapiro, but now you're, like, acting out his shtick. Like, come on, Zen.
If the victim is attacking the murderer, then the murderer would be defending themselves, thus making them not a murderer. It's just defending themselves. So now let's see if that criteria for murder applies to abortion.
Big Bolus? Oh my god, I hope that's the kid.
So the doctor / woman.
Wow, that's
Those
ironic.
are people, right?
Definitely.
Okay. And the being
Like, not a single deciliter of testosterone.
inside of the mother is a human, correct?
Not a single hormone.
And the being inside of the mother is being attacked by either forceps or a pill or by some sort of.
Fucking Big Bolus. Dude, I bet they mistook you for female because your dick was so fucking small. They mistook it for a clitoris, okay? Fuck you.
Procedures.
You're a kid on a fucking Overwatch chat room. Like, shut the fuck up. Debate leftists,
Some sort of
man.
procedure, right?
Yeah.
And then that human is being killed, and they don't consent to it, and they are not attacking the assailant, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so abortion meets literally every criteria for murder, and you said you object to murder.
Yes.
Okay, so are you pro-life?
I would say yes. I don't know, I'm not really like I don't have like a solid stance on it, so like definitely
Well,
conversations like this kind of help me out. Like,
Well, given the argument that I just gave you, maybe I did go a little bit hard on you.
If it is the kid he's debating, same thing goes. Same criticism.
Given the argument that I just gave you, do you accept everything that I'm saying and why you should actually be pro-life, given that you're absorbing it honestly?
They are cognizant of that physical and emotional pain. That's why I object to killing humans that are alive.
get an abortion, but like I feel like people should be I have abortion. Yeah.
And then that human is being killed for sex, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so abortion means literally.
Get an abortion, but like I don't feel like people should be getting like.
You know, but given the argument that I just gave you, do you accept everything that I'm saying and why you? You know, but given the argument that I just gave you, do you accept it? The doctor / woman, those are people, right?
Get an abortion, but like I don't feel like people should be getting like. I'm not really like I don't have like a solid.
I just gave you. Given the argument that I just gave you, maybe I did go a little bit hard on you. But given the argument that I just gave you, do you accept everything that I'm saying and why you should actually be pro-life, given that you're absorbing it honestly?
Yes.
Maybe you go hard on people on fucking Overwatch chat rooms, but when you go up against leftists, you are a house of cards.
So just to be clear, let me hammer it home, just so I know I'm like maybe resonating a little bit. Do you acknowledge that abortion is killing an innocent human being?
Yes.
Okay, and do you oppose the kill?
Okay, so long as you consider a human being anything with different DNA, you'd consider cutting out a tumor killing a human being, which is why your worldview is absurd.
Human beings in abortion, like in what abortion is.
Yes.
Okay, and lastly, do you accept that innocent humans should not be punished by way of death for the irresponsibility of either of their parents?
Yes.
Not if they have the capacity for consciousness and the human experience.
So that would cover the base of even if the mother is raped, the irresponsibility of the father should not carry over to the innocent human that was created as a result. Even though rape is awful, an innocent human should not be punished for the crime that their father commits. Do you accept that?
Yes.
Okay. Based and a half. The man is pro-life.
That makes sense.
Let's go.
Let's wrap it up.
Yes, everybody golf. Everybody golf.
I came into this not really like.
This is the best type of conversion therapy.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. So I know I was probably a little bit hard
Yeah, it doesn't work.
on you, but sometimes that's what you need.
You were hard. You're just truthful.
Yeah, sometimes the truth is harsh. But you were honest with yourself.
God, he gave me the setup, and I was right there with the
You
punchline.
accepted what I was saying. You didn't try to do mental gymnastics to continue to justify your position like a lot of people do. You accepted what I was giving you, and take my word for it, I'm not lying to you. I'm just giving
Because he hasn't debated a moment in his fucking life,
you the
dude.
truth. And it turns out that the truth
No,
leads
yeah,
you to
everything
pro-life.
you said was logical. Like,
Yeah.
yes, like, I see.
This is so pathetic,
Yeah,
bro.
piece it together. It makes sense. Like it
Yeah.
makes total sense. What you said.
That's cool. Well, I appreciate you being good faith. Good talk.
Here we go.
No, bad talk. Go up against seasoned leftists. So, I hope that this dialogue tree and this, demonstration of why this guy is a complete and utter fucking idiot has demonstrated to you as to why he's too much of a pussy to debate actual leftists. So, yeah, here's how you eviscerate Zen's dialogue tree, and I hope this has been adequate for you. So, thanks for watching.